Well, of all things, I am in downtown Columbus right now. I got up this morning, and yesterday somebody had called me and asked me if I would come to a commission meeting and speak on behalf of out-of-competition testing. Now, I'm assuming that somebody had heard me talk about it before, and coming from Ontario, where there is absolutely out-of-competition testing, it's just the norm for us, right? For those of you in New York and New Jersey, it's the norm for you also. But here in Ohio, it's not. So for those of you who don't know, out-of-competition testing is where a commission can show up and take blood samples of your horses, search your barn, just to make sure that nothing out of the ordinary is going on, right? And to make sure that nothing out of the ordinary is in your horses. Now, why would this tell me? Okay, good. Let's be honest, we're all big boys and girls here. When you are racing for money and have people betting on competitions, betting their money on competitions, there is going to be a lot of pressure, right? And there is going to be, anytime you have money and victories, you're going to have people that are going to cheat. And that's just the way it is, right? Doesn't matter whether you're a cyclist, right? You had Lance Armstrong, football, baseball, basketball, any form of collegiate wrestling or sports of any kind. You have to level the playing field. It's just the way it is. And this isn't anything that is spurred on from anything more than me saying, hey, I want to make sure that when we have our clients that buy horses and we bring our horses to the racetrack, that we are all starting on, as I said, on a level playing field. And that's it. I just think that's more than fair. It's easier said than done in Ohio. As it was said to me this morning, the laws are built around, the laws were put in place when, the laws were put in place when racetracks had all the horses stabled on them, right? They were responsible for the property and everything that went on that property. But as I said to them, well, racetracks and backstretches have been closing all over North America for years. New York, New Jersey, Ontario, Indiana for sure can search those private properties. And I told them, I said, the way in Ontario they did it was they had waivers for everybody. If you want to race at Mohawk, you have to sign a waiver saying that the commission can come on and search your property and take samples of your horse's blood. That's it. And even that appears to be easier said than done in Ohio. Well, I told them, I said, well, listen, you're the adjudicators here. If the law is no longer keeping people from doing things wrong, then it's not a very helpful law, is it? It needs to be ratified. If the way in which people move and operate, live, work, race in this case, are somehow not under the umbrella of the laws that were put in place to do that very thing, to ensure that people are held accountable if they're not doing things correctly, well, it needs to be fixed. And again, that's a very remedial look at a very complex situation, but nevertheless, it doesn't change my concerns, my wants, my hopes, is that we have an obvious equal playing field. And this is just common sense stuff, right? Ohio, with the money they have and the racetracks they have and the love of racing from within the government that they have here, this could easily, in the next few years, decade, whatnot, become the pinnacle of racing, right? When you look at all the uncertainty that is fallen upon a number of other jurisdictions, and then you have this jurisdiction that has certainty, almost as much as you can have, I guess, in this day and age, then it's not a long walk from there to Ohio being one of the pinnacles, because they have that great relationship with their government. So the one thing keeping the legitimacy of Ohio at bay is the fact that they don't have out of competition testing. It's a must. It's a need. It's a has to, and I hope that they can get that worked out. So just a lot going on. It's been a long time since I had to speak in that manner to government people, but at the same time, it was, I guess, a nice distraction from racing, I suppose, this morning. So back to the grind. I'm going back to. I brought my shorts and my flip flops and my t-shirt with me. Back to Northfield Park, or back to Delaware and then Northfield Park. We have some racing today. We have some racing tomorrow. And as Jason pointed out, I didn't realize it. I knew that if you made a break in the mud, it wasn't counted as a break. Definitely in Pennsylvania, and I believe in Ohio also. But the break by Raging Hanover 2 starts back was not in the mud. It was on a good track, and I believe there's a distinction between the both. So we're going to have to qualify him. I was planning on training him this morning and then send a note out late saying I wasn't going to be able to make it to the burn, that I was actually in Columbus, and that we would qualify Raging Hanover tomorrow, I guess. He struggled around Poconos. I don't know how he's going to get around Northfield, but we're all going to find out together tomorrow afternoon. But Spitfire Overseas will definitely get around, and so will Agent Black is going to make his North American debut in a qualifier tomorrow also. So that's what's on tap for tomorrow. Today we have racing. I'm not going to worry about updating you guys. You know who's racing today. I'm just trying to follow the signs and not get lost here. On my way right now to Cashman's, actually. I had put it on Facebook the other day, looking for mats, and you can always buy, hand-me-downs or torn, ripped, old, beat-up mats. And then, of course, you'd have to price them against where can you get new mats, what is the cost of new mats, how do we go about doing that. And it seemed like the consistency I got from everybody, the consistent name I got from everybody was Cashman's, like Farm Supplies or Horse Supplies or something. I've never been there, but since I'm racing in Delaware today and their company is in Delaware today, I thought I would just drop by and see if we can't strike a deal. What my, and I pledged this to our clients, and I've beat this drum to our employees. I know that we're stable in a smaller facility, but we have to do better, right? We have to look better. Listen, they all put the work into the horses. That is undeniable. But unfortunately, when you're running a barn, you have to look like a top-end professional barn also. We're going to paint the walls up. We're going to put down mats. We're going to make things look spruce things up a little bit. For all of our clients that are visiting, I want people to be proud of what we've built, not just on paper, but also in person. And that's exactly what I plan on doing. It's much like our house. Last year we moved in and there was still stuff in boxes in December. It's time to move in, right? It's time to put the couches where they need to be, and it's time to put the TV on the wall, so to speak. And that's exactly what we're planning on doing. Now, there'll be no couches or TVs in the burn just yet. There is some TVs actually that the track put up that show the replays in the races live, but baby steps. I'm proud of the burn we built. I'm proud of the fact that you allowed us to do so, and I want to share that with you whenever you visit our burn. So that's exactly how things are going to look moving forward. Again, I'll talk about the Lexington buckets coming up, because we have the shares of the Ohio horses will be going live today at some point. So those of you that have been waiting, thank you for being so patient. We'll be moving those shares to a live bracket so everybody can buy them today. And then again, we will try to clean those up if you want. I would appreciate it. Thank you very much. And then we will start focusing on Lexington and what we plan on doing in the Lexington sale. I have now gone over the sale book twice. Amy has gone over it twice. We know what we think we know the storylines, as I like to say all the time. I don't mean to talk in riddles, but what I'm saying is I believe I know what is going to take place in regards to the prices, the cost, maybe where we should be looking for our best bang for buck, whether that be sire, jurisdiction, session that we're working in, farm, consigner, things of that nature. We're taking all of this into account and trying to decide where your money is best spent. And before we can do any of that, we have to know how much money we're dealing with. So we will be putting those buckets out for everybody this week. I will urge you and ask you that if you do plan on participating in Lexington, then raise your hand, be counted for, and make sure you let us know. So that is that. Off to Delaware today. We get the boys on tap. Obviously on shaky ground. Our two girls made breaks yesterday, which was pretty disappointing for me. But it happens. They're 2-year-old fillies on a half-mile track. One, as I said, from the inside post. Maybe I just asked for a little too much behind the gate. Tough spot to leave from on the rail. And then for the other filly, just a lot to look at with the fair and exhibition out there. And I had a tough time getting her rolling behind the gate after that. But we hopefully won't have those miscues and mishaps today. We have Emerald Tom, who I'm hopeful can get around a half-mile track. Not his best racing on a half, but if you're going to do your best racing on any half, it will be this surface. So I'm optimistic with respect to Emerald Tom. And then, of course, Uncle Danny also doesn't do his best racing on a half, but he did train well the other day. And again, he is racing at Delaware. I hope the track's a little firmer today because he wears flip-flops. Supermind, again, seems to love that 5/8 surface, but I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful with all three of them today. So we'll see how that plays out. I was asked, I'm going to have to do it in a later video, guys. I apologize. Jugette Day, an hour after the races. Lonnie and our clients from New York had invited all of you. If you're in the Delaware area, come on out. They want to go to Chinese Place tomorrow, an hour after the races. It should be a lot of fun. I'm excited for it. And I will give you that address later on. I did put it on my email, but I don't have my my internet on. I don't think I do. Maybe I do. I can look and see if I do. And if I do, I'll be happy to tell you the address. Now, the Chinese Place, there is no denying what food they sell there. It is a very Chinese sounding, it is on a very Chinese sounding place. Okay, here we go. I did find it. It is Chuan Juing Haosi. Wow, did I ever butcher that? That is as much a Chinese restaurant name as I've ever had and seen in my life. Might be better off to spell it. CHAUNJIANGHAOZI. Chuang Xing Haozi. That's impressive. And that is at 496 Ackerman Road, Columbus, Ohio, 43202. If you like Chinese, and who doesn't like Chinese once in a while? I'm up for it. It should be a lot of fun. Lonnie and those guys, they love racing, they love their horses, and you know what they do love? The community we built here at the stable, and so do I. So for all of you in our little community, have a great day. Good luck at the track today for the entirety of the day. Good luck tomorrow. We're racing in the early morning into the early part of the afternoon. Then I'm going to get in my car and book it back to Northfield Park, where I'm going to qualify 3 horses for the afternoon. That is the plan for tomorrow. I hope you guys are having a great day today. We'll talk to you all very soon. As I said, good luck at the track. And if you'd like to go to the Chinese food, let me know. I'll pass it on to Lonnie and his crew. We'll get a little table set up for everybody. It should be a lot of fun. Take care.